Number three team, I'm gonna give it to Chicago. They still, even with Lonzo Ball being out, they still have a really good amount of talent. Kobe White, I'm waiting for him to really show us if he can be that all-star caliber player. Excuse me. They got DeRozan, who's coming off a career year. Zach LaVine's going to be healthy. Vucevic is there. Their four is
Patrick Williams,
Patrick Williams. Thank you.
Paul.
Yep. Yeah, the Paul. So yeah, give me Chicago right there. I think I'm going to put them there because they're more experienced than the other two teams, and they have more talent than the other two teams. So I'm going to take Chicago right there, number three.
This is a very tough year for Chicago. Just Chicago sports in general. The White Sox eliminated. The Cubs suck. The Bears suck. And then here are the Bulls, who have just been plagued with injuries, and Lonzo Ball with knee surgery, upcoming knee surgery. I don't know if he's had it already. John, you should know more than I do on that. But this is a team plagued with injuries, so I feel like their ceiling is a bit capped. DeMar DeRozan coming off of a career year. Uh, I don't think we're going to see that version of him again. So I have to go with the Bulls third, just because I don't believe the other teams behind them had the talent to compete. But the Bulls are just going to be the Bulls, maybe a playing team to me.
Justin, you and I are in the same boat here. I think you are as well, BCAT. So in this Eastern Conference, you have about 11 teams trying to win games. And honestly, if you're going to include Charlotte, yeah, 12. The crazy thing is, for the Chicago Bulls, guys, they traded 2 first-round draft picks and Wendell Carter Jr. to the Orlando Magic for Nikola Vucevic. And last year, Vuce basically forgot how to shoot the three ball. That was one of the staples of his game in Orlando, and it's always tough being a third option anywhere, but in the playoffs, he was terrible. And when I look at this Bulls roster, some team out of this group of 9-10 teams is going to miss the playoffs, and I think it's them. And the reason why, Brandon, you said that Zach LaVine's healthy. For now, they have the worst injury luck in the entire NBA. When I was going through it, when I grade durability for this team, I'm giving it an F. Lonzo Ball has underwent multiple knee surgeries, 2 of them, and the fact that no one actually knows what's going on with his knee, when that's your third most important player here, it's just a sign of what's to come. Every single year, the Bulls are torn to shreds by injuries.
I do have to say, I think if Lonzo Ball was healthy, I think Vucevic would be able to perform at a better level because he's got that guard who's going to set him up, pick and roll, play, basically get him open and get him good shots and stuff like that. Because who's the start? It's Colby White is the starting point guard with Lonzo out, right? Or
I think it's going to be Ayo Dosunmu at point guard.
okay. I don't know much about him. I
I can
don't even
tell you.
think I've ever seen him
He's
play.
a Chicago kid that he can play make and got pretty big this summer. Halfway decent shooter. And defensively, he can really only guard guards, but just a very good rookie last year. The second round pick, probably the steal outside of Herbert Jones in the second round. I think he's better than Kobe White already.
I really like Colby White's talent. I think he's got all the talent in the world. It's just inconsistent. Got to put it together.
Agreed.
So next up, I know I would imagine John is really high on this team. Detroit, I got number 4. They're starting to make some good moves, starting to move in the right direction. I'm not as big on Cade Cunningham as other people because I haven't seen a lot. I'll admit it, I really haven't. So maybe I see more this year if they have more nationally televised games. Yeah, I got them number 4. I don't think they make the playoffs though, or the play-in.
Hell no. So we're looking at the Eastern Conference. We have the Bucks, who to me are number 1, the Celtics, the 76ers, the Miami Heat, the Toronto Raptors, the Brooklyn Nets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, so I just had as the number 1 seed, the Atlanta Hawks. That's 8 right there. 9, the Chicago Bulls. 10, Charlotte Hornets. 11, New York Knicks. 12, Washington Wizards. The Pistons might be the 13th seed here. So they go out and they get Bojan Bogdanovic a week ago, probably top 10, top 15 shooter in the whole league, that for the last 2 years averaged almost 20 a game And in Utah, where we always like to shame Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert for not getting it done, it was the role players put in place in Boyan, Joe Ingles, Royce O'Neal that got that team to click at an elite level. So when you add one of the top 15 shooters in the league to another top 20 shooter in Sadiq Bey, they're surrounding Cade Cunningham with the necessary floor spacing to basically, Brandon, what he reminds me of a little bit of Jaylen Brown's footwork and pull-up game from mid-range, and Luka Doncic's feel and vision into one player. And that right there is a top 3 or 4 young player under 25 years old in the league. He has every single trait you look for in a franchise player. And a point guard, he has the size to take advantage of mismatches. He can create for himself off the dribble and in isolation. Very good ball handler, and he's deceptive in his ability to create off of the tack, get downhill, and find open teammates. Very intuitive passer. I think he's going to be a superstar. Don't think he'll ever be an MVP per se. I think that we'll have to see more. He was very inefficient as a rookie, below 50% true shooting. But with the necessary talent around him this year, and Jaden Ivey coming in number 5 overall pick, the Pistons had the best young backcourt in the league outside of the Cavaliers. So much talent there. But at the end of the day, the bench is deplorable. Killian Hayes, Hamidou Diallo, Corey Joseph. There's really not much. Beef stew I like. There's really not that much there for the Pistons to really have much more than like 30 wins this season.
I think for the Pistons, much like the Knicks, is more about just being patient. So I do have them finishing fourth in the division, but yeah, it's just preaching patience. They're a young team, a lot of young, exciting pieces coming in. This is a team that I feel like has been, I guess, in purgatory. There's just no elevation. We haven't seen them, grow for quite a while. But you got Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren, who I think are going to be special young players. So, like I said, just let them be rookies. Don't have all these expectations for them. Just let them go about their rookie season and develop. And the same thing with Cade going into another year. We'll see what they have to offer. Year by year, you get better. And that's how you grow. It's really patience. Look at Cleveland. Patience, then now where you're at. And so we'll see. But the Pistons should be a very good team in a couple of years. This is just a growing process.